Okay, welcome again. In this part, I will browse you through some examples, guide you through some examples, where I will elucidate the points that I made in previous presentation. I will start with a very known example of flu prediction used by Google. A few years ago, there was an epidemic or a risk of epidemic from the bird flu virus, and the US government have put in place a program to get a track to know where the flu is propagating through the territory. Okay, so they asked for each hospital and each healthcare center to report the incidence of flu weekly. And they create reports and they give these reports, put these reports available in the following week. So the whole process took about 15 days to put in place, to put the results to the public. And it costs a lot of money. And Google came out with an idea. It is a very simple idea, but very powerful. It's just to elucidate the power of using all the data that we can have access. They thought about the following. How about if you use the search keywords that users are entering in our system, in Google, and play around with these keywords, combinations of keywords, and see how that could relate with flu incidents throughout the territory. And after some trials with different keyword combinations, they tested billions of combinations. They came out with about 60 combinations of keywords that, if are in the system, if a certain region you have an incident of these keywords, we can know pretty sure that there is some incident of flu in that particular city, in that particular region. And the correlation was astonishing. It was very good correlation. So somehow we can use Google to predict where the flu incidents will occur. And at a cost that is much orders of magnitude lower than the cost of the healthcare system. So this is just an example of how a clever use of the data that users are feeding the system, even if they are not aware of it, can be used to extract information, can extract value for another activity. I myself use this system to predict with good accuracy the demand of tourism income from a certain city in Portugal. So just by looking at what keywords people use in Google over time, you can make a boost of this estimation of prediction of incoming of tourists and demand in the given city, and the hotel can adjust the price by predicting some months ahead the incoming of tourists to this city, even if they don't make bookings or reservations in the hotel. Just the fact that they are browsing for Portugal or for holidays in South Europe or these keywords, by using this combination of keywords, we can know with good accuracy that and compare these search terms with previous years. You can know with good accuracy that this year will be higher or lower than previous year. This is just an example of the power of using all the data in an unsuspicious way. I already told you about the Kaggle. Kaggle is a portal where it runs several data mining and machine learning contests. There are lots of them running every month, and some of them are very interesting. I already told you about the used car, where the Kaggle is the most important predictor of the quality of the used car. But there are others very interesting, like the fact that one airline decided, I think it was American Airlines, decided to predict what was the best indicator if a customer arrives at time at check-in. It used dozens of variables, from age, from status, from incoming, from where they lived, and it turns out that the best predictor if a customer is, arrives at check-in at time, it was if he asked for a vegetarian food for the meal. It was something completely unexpected. I think no one will guess that just by looking at the data. But it was what came out from the algorithms. And this happens in several situations, and it's some what I call hidden information in the data. There are lots of examples where information is laid and hidden in large amounts of stored data in SQL queries in databases somewhere in the world, and it turns out that somehow we'll find a way to use this data and take value from this data. This is a very important point to address, that data today is a valuable asset. And companies are not used to look at data as an asset, but it is a very valuable asset. Although this value is almost free, it doesn't mean, but this cost is almost free, it doesn't mean that the value is null. The value is very high. And you should look at data as something that is the most important asset. For instance, Google, the data that it has in the servers and the search terms that we query over time, for Google, this is the most important asset they have. It's not the computer, it's not the algorithms, it's the data they feed in the system. And companies should start to look at data as its most valuable asset. For instance, telecoms, they have a large amount of data with customers, where they call, what time of the day or the year they call, what are the numbers, the most probable numbers they call. So telecoms do not a lot about me and you and everybody. And how do you use this data? How do they use it? Well, I will say that they don't just use it for a billing, sending our bill every month. And I think this is a tiny fraction. It's like an iceberg where you just use a very tiny fraction of all the value that is inside all this data. And as telecoms, also banks have large sources of data, and they use just a tiny fraction of it because they don't know how to use it. And this is a huge opportunity for startups or for other companies to start connecting the points and using this, I call dormant data, to extract value and to sell it, for instance, as leads to other companies.